Recording in progress.
So hello and welcome to each and every one of you, and to all of those of you who are watching this on the replay. My name is Gill Pinnington and I'm a self-love coach, a quantum trauma therapist, a spiritual intuitive and an advanced EFT master practitioner. So yes, I've got a big toolkit that I use with people in groups and also in one-to-one, and I specialize in working with people who have got, well, from a few things, who've kind of lost their way in life about who they are. For many years I've helped people like we are today, you know, who are struggling with anxiety and depression and stress and burnout. But my big love for helping people is to really find that place of love within themselves, to accept themselves for who they are. And that, I find, is at the core of so much. Okay. Now, I said that I'm going to share 2 techniques with you today. And these 2 techniques have been instrumental in my own transformation. Now, if you go back 15, 20 years, I was a completely different person. Now, Claire, you know me that long, even though I haven't seen you in, gosh, I don't know, over a decade, but I was such a different person. I spent most of my life depressed, significantly overweight. I'm about 70 pounds lighter than I used to be. So that's about, what's that, 4 or 5 stone, something like that. I'd been depressed since I was about 15, I reckon. That's the first time that I realized I was depressed, and anxious in my 20s and 30s, even into my 40s, but depression was the big thing. I was a binge eater, and all that went with that was me working too hard, partying too hard, buying too much, putting myself out there in too many ways, spreading myself too thin, and all of it just building up into me being in a place where on 2 occasions I thought, you know, actually, why am I here? You know, it would be much better if I wasn't here. And I really did consider suiciding. And I'm glad to say that my therapist that I reached out to, after working with her for a short time, she then trained in these techniques that I'm going to share with you today. And once she started using them, that was it. It was a game changer, because I had a way of managing how I felt and how I would choose to feel every single day, regardless of what was going on in my life. I'm not saying it was overnight, and I'm not saying it was always easy to apply what she was doing with me and what I was learning. But the more I did it, the easier it got. And it's like anything, isn't it? You know, we've got to put in a little bit of effort at first to get ourselves into that place of being able to support ourselves. And I was doing that alongside my therapist for 3 years. And then it was her that encouraged me to come and train and help you all. And I've been paying it forward ever since. And that was nearly 10 years ago that I first did my first training. So, I'm just going to let some people in. There we go. Okay. So that's a little bit about my story. Now, what I would like you to do before, I'm not going to do any horrible things like getting you all to introduce yourself and stuff like that, because I know if you're stressed or you're anxious, that's the last thing you want, is to be put under pressure. You know, that's not going to help anybody. But what I would really like you to do is to just take a breath now. Just take a couple of breaths. Just close your eyes just for a moment and just imagine if you're coming into your body. Just like you just dropped inside as if by magic. And I'd like you to notice what it's like in there now. So that anxiety or that stress, that tension, the overwhelm, whatever it is that you have arrived with today, that you experience in your life on a regular basis, just notice where that shows up in your body. Notice how it's showing up in your body. Maybe it's in your shoulders or your stomach. Maybe you can feel bodily sensations. Maybe you've got thoughts racing around. Just noticing what there is to notice. You can't get this wrong because you are unique and different to everybody else. And now you've just started to notice. I'd like you to give the intensity of it a number, where 10 would be the most intense and 0 would be its absence. What number would you give it right now, today? Okay. Just open your eyes for me once you've got that number. That's it. Hello. Okay, so hello Glenda, hello Judy. And I don't know why I'm on there because I didn't log myself in again. I don't know. Oh, hello Sue. So Glenda and Judy, fantastic to have you here. Is there any chance you could put your cameras on, please, so we can see your gorgeous faces, and Simon and Becky also, if that would be okay?
I think I turned into you, Jill. That's what that was.
Did you rename yourself?
It would seem so, unwittingly.
Oh, Sue Jane says Jill is called Gill Pinnington too. There's some really weird stuff. Okay, it is a new moon. Hello, Katie. It's a new moon today. So, who knows what energies are going out there. And I think before we go any further, I need to give you full disclosure. Some of you know me and some of you don't, okay? I am full on woo, okay? Out there, I do all the completely woo, totally spiritual, yeah, I'll go, whatever it is, I'm up for everything. But I know that not everybody is. And I also like a good bit of science behind things. So where there is some stats, where there's some research, where there's some science, I like to bring those in. And my personal belief is that all this woo stuff, all this energy and stuff like that, a lot of it is just, we can't measure it yet because we don't have the kit for it, okay? But I know, okay, this is how full on woo I am. I'm making a cup of tea last night and I thought, turned around and it felt like there was someone in the kitchen. And it turns out, when I had a little chat with her, it was a 12-year-old girl who used to live in this house. I live in a 200-year-old house on the seafront in St. Leonard's. And this would have been the servants' quarters up here. And apparently she was 12 years old and she got sent away to work. And she was really sad and she was missing everyone. And so I sorted her out and she's gone off onto the beach. She popped up this morning and said, "Oh, I'm having a really good time on the beach. Thank you very much." Oh, got goosebumps. Yeah, so I'm that kind of woo. Do you know what I mean? I'm like right over there. But I meet you where you are. Okay, and that's the most important thing. Hello, Katie. So there were some messages there. Oh, okay, Judy can't turn the camera on. Okay, and Glenda too. Okie dokie. Thank you for letting me know. So, what I'd like you all to do now is, I won't ask you to say, you know, introduce yourself or anything, but I think we should all say hello to each other. And I want you to imagine a little bit of a daft icebreaker. Just wave to everybody and just go, hello, hello, hello. Just like try and meet everybody's eyes. Yes, we're going to get the energy going as well. Woo! Yes, fantastic. Now, doesn't that feel better now? Yeah? Okay. Now, I'm really good at digressing, so I've got to keep myself on track today. So I asked you to tune into the body and to give it a number. If you haven't already, I'd like you to write that number down, because we're going to see where you are right at the end. I'm also going to see where you are periodically going through as we do the different things. So if you've got a pen, then write that down so you don't have to worry about trying to remember what it is. Okay. Okay. Right, my lovelies. So I'm gonna open the energy in this space, because although we're in different parts of the country, I've even got someone from Australia who's signed up, who, you know, probably in bed at the moment, and who's going to look at it on replay. I'm going to open the energy of this, so when you watch it on replay too, that you can feel, you can tune into that same energy, because it doesn't matter whether it's live or whether it's on replay, you're still going to connect into the power of it. Okay, so just want you to take a breath and close your eyes just for a moment, and just calling you into this space, and I'm calling up a circle of love that surrounds us all. And this circle of love that surrounds us all, I'm bringing divine white light in to the circle, into its perimeter, into all the space around it. And I'm asking you now to join me, stepping into this circle of love. And stepping into the circle, I'd like you to call back your energy from across time and space, to call back your energy into you, cleansed and transmuted into white healing light. And I'd like you now to set an intention for your highest good, for your greatest health and well-being. To be open to the possibility of change. To give yourself loving permission to heal and release all resistance to changing, to letting go of what needs to be released. Releasing all that no longer serves you or your highest purpose. And bringing in more white light into you and into the circle, and into all versions of you and all parts of you, and into every cell and every strand of DNA. And just knowing that you are held, that you are seen, that you are heard, and that you are loved. And that you are fully received, just as you are. And bringing yourself back now into the physical body. Just taking a breath and opening your eyes. Doesn't that feel different already? Yeah, Sue's going, yeah, Anna's nothing ahead. I think Simon's going to fall asleep. Can someone poke him with a stick if you notice he's fallen asleep? Has anyone got a long enough stick? Fantastic, right. Okay, who hand wave if you got chance to complete the insight questions before you arrived here, or even to look at them? So Becky didn't have a chance and Simon didn't have a chance. Okay, fantastic. Well, the good news is we're going to look at them again now, because I knew not everybody would get that opportunity, because life is really busy, isn't it, at times? And I think this is the crazy busiest time of year as well. Okay, so I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Okay. There we go. Oh, that wasn't so difficult. There you go. All right, my lovelies. So I can only, let me change my view. There you go. You're all down there now. That's better. So what can you all see that clearly? Because I don't see what you see. Yeah. So you can see freedom from anxiety and stress. Okay, fantastic. Brilliant. So let's, okay, it's not, oh, there we go. Now it's scrolling. Come on. Oh, it takes a little while to load. My little laptop has been around the world with me for the last 4 years. It's a teeny little thing. Okay. So question 1 was, what do you hope to get out of this masterclass? So I'd like you just have a think about that. Think about what you wrote. Is there anything you want to add to that now? What is it that you want to get out of this today? This is a big investment, 2 hours of your time. What is it that you would really like to get out of this? Just have a little think about that for a moment. And if you've got your pen and pad there, or you've printed out the questions, then just add anything to it that you'd like to. I'm just going to give you a minute for that. Okay. And if you've finished already, then what I'm going to invite you to do is just so we can see that we're not so different from each other, is I'd just like you to pop into the comments one of the things that you would like to get out of this masterclass. Pop it into the chat. If you're able to do that. Fantastic. A bit of a refresh, maybe pick up something new. So I'm guessing that is Simon. because he's come up with Gill Pinnington. A bit of a nudge, absolutely. Yeah, we need a nudge, don't we? Like someone going, come on, yeah, hints and tips, Sue. Yeah. Okay. Oh, fantastic. An open mind and just see where it leads from Becky. Fantastic. I'm sure you'll pick up a few things for yourself and for your runners, Becky. Anna said you'd like to feel less time feeling anxious. Okay. Okay. This is really weird. Like, I only get to see you all now if oh, okay. So Judy said, tips on how to deal with anxiety so I don't freeze up. That's a really interesting one, isn't it? And hopefully I'll cover that later about, yeah. So we're going to have a little bit of time right at the end for some Q&A. Okay. So we're going to move on to the second question now. Oh, I'm sorry, let me see. Gain more understanding of techniques I can use to deal with anxiety. Well, you're definitely going to get that, Katie. Absolutely, you will. And yes, Leanne, you too. Okay. So question 2 is, what is your biggest cause of anxiety or stress? So the biggest one. Just thinking about it. And you might go, oh my God, it's everything. There's loads. But bring it in. What's that one thing that if it was to change, it would make such a massive difference to your life? If you were to feel differently, if you were to feel less anxious, less stressed about that one thing. Okay. Are you all really clear on what that one thing is for you? Because it's going to help you to realize what it really is. Because it's so easy for us just to say it's everything, it's life, it's work, but actually when we start coming in, we say, okay, so it's work. What is it about work? You know, or it's my relationship. What is it about your relationship that it has you feeling so anxious or so stressed? You know, when we start coming in and looking at the problem itself, we start to get some clarity so we can look at the individual parts of it, because it can just seem so huge and overwhelming that it just feels like it's all encompassing. And that's the thing, I think, especially with anxiety, is so hard to pinpoint it sometimes. Okay, now this is really key. Question 3, what do you currently believe about your ability to overcome anxiety or stress? What do you believe? Do you believe it's possible? Do you believe it only happens to other people? Do you believe if it gets better for a little while, but then it comes back, it only ever gets worse? What is it that you believe? Okay, let's just go to the charts. Okay, so it's an ongoing challenge. It's something I have to live with. It won't ever be gone completely. Okay, so I'm just looking further back as well. Oh, yeah. Okay, so we've got the negative for the previous question, I think negative thoughts, relating to people, lack of confidence, low self-esteem, being told I'll never run again. Yeah, and that was really hard for you, wasn't it, Becky? I'm sure it still is. Overwhelming pressure to do well in exams and in life. Okay. Health anxiety and the physical symptoms it presents in my body. Yes, that is not easy. Okay, so our belief about it, it's an ongoing challenge, something I've got to live with, won't ever be gone. It's John, fantastic. I'm liking this. Possible with breaking habits. Absolutely it is. Anxiety is so firmly embedded as part of me that I will always feel anxious. Okay. Anna, I've got good news for you. It's not always going to be that way. Not always going, and I'm the proof of the pudding with that. This is the thing. This is why I do what I do and why I love doing these things. It's because I know that I'm just an ordinary girl, originally from Liverpool, you know, and I'm nothing remarkable in that. I'm not super brain, you know, and I don't know, I'm not some big celebrity or something who everyone thinks is wonderful. I'm just a girl who got, you know, did the things that helped her, that got the support that she needed, and now she doesn't live with depression and anxiety and binge eating. And I wouldn't even say I had low self-esteem. I had no self-esteem whatsoever. And I was always so, bubbly, chatty, happy, out there. I never told a soul how I really felt. Not until, and even when I first started with my therapist, which is what, I don't know, about 15 years ago, something like that, it was really hard for me even to admit a lot of things to her first. So Simon's saying, I believe I have the ability to reduce the anxiety and stress, but it's a lot of hard work and I don't have the motivation to be consistent. Oh, yeah, that's the hard one, isn't it? Absolutely. All right, fantastic. Thank you all for being so open. So question 4. I want you to name 3 ways that your life would be improved if you were to feel less anxious or stressed. This is part of finding the motivation, about keeping that focus. When we start to look at how I would feel different. How would I feel? How would I show up in the world? Would my relationships be different? Would I feel differently about my work? Would I have confidence to do things that I thought I never would do? Would I be more at ease with myself? Would I go and apply for that job or that course that I always wanted to do? Would I go and travel? How would your life be improved if you were to feel less anxious or stressed? I can see a lot of you still scribbling. Fantastic. Oh, we got a little doggy there. Was it a cat? Okay. All right. So let's see what you're all saying. Okay. So I have what Judy said, I'd have a clearer and calmer mind, no heaviness on my chest, and better performance in my life through confidence. Absolutely. More joy, better relationships, less time wasting. Here to that, hey. Confidence, be able to do more and sleep better, and enjoy life more, better sleep, more self-acceptance. Whoever has got their sound on, would you be able to switch it off, please? Let me see if I can do that. Gosh, I used to be a dab hand with all of let me see. Oh, don't know how to mute you all these days. Mute all, there you go. Okay, so I'm just muting you so we don't have any background noises just for now.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so question 5. Now, I like us to get specific, and I mean really, really, really specific. I know before I said, you know, what's your biggest cause and get specific on that. I want you to come in even more. So what specifically is the one thing, and it might be a really tiny thing, okay, that you would most like to feel less anxious and stressed about? And I want you to think about why it's that one thing. What is that thing? And what difference, what's the big difference that it's going to make? So it's like coming in closer and closer and closer to the problem. And those of you that I've worked with before, you know that that is the key to it all. It's about really honing in and getting to the core of it. So if there was only one tiny thing that you could change, what would that tiny one thing be? Okay. That tiny, tiny one thing. What would that be? Stopping negative thoughts and memories. Okay. Yeah. I hear you, John. And I'm saying I want to feel less anxious in intimate relationships when I am apart from that person, because I feel clingy and needy, and then I feel shame at feeling that way and not getting things right. Okay. Claire said worrying all the time. And Sujay said managing my to-dos. That ever growing list. Whose list always has more going on the bottom of it than comes off the top of it? Me. And it can be the biggest challenge for all of us. Is there anything that anyone else wants to add in there? What's that one tiny thing that would make that difference? This one thing could change. Okay. So we're going to come on now to the last question. How would you show up differently in the world if you were to feel less anxious or stressed about that one thing? How are you going to be yourself in the world? What's going to be different about that? Oh, yeah, be more successful and strong. I love that, Judy. Less angry and frustrated. Feel happier and less focused on the need to control every little thing. Katie said, I would be a more confident version of myself and who I am in my abilities. Oh, yes. And John said, socialize more, spend less time on chores. Yes. More confident in all abilities. Absolutely. When we stop doubting ourselves, when we stop worrying about everything, it ripples out into every part of our life. Oh, Leanne's saying happy, relaxed, and calm. Yeah. Absolutely. Brilliant. Fantastic. Oh, okay. So that's, I'm going to take, let's see if I can stop sharing. Can I stop sharing? Not that. Stop share. There you go. Woo, you're back. I didn't lose you. Yes, triumph, victory. You're still here. I didn't cut you all off. Fantastic. Because there is always that chance. Because technology is marvelous. It's the best thing since sliced bread, in my opinion. But only if you know what to do with it. Well, in my life anyway. And I'm pretty good at winging it. So, okay. So now I'm going to ask you to take yourselves off mute. And now I am going to give you an opportunity just to share anything. But if you feel drawn to, now you've gone through those insight questions and you've really had to think about it. You know, is there anything else that you want to add that might help, you know, might help you in the verbalizing? Maybe it's going to help everybody else and go, oh my God, yeah. You know, that's what I've noticed too, just by having that insight on this anxiety and stress and what difference it would make to me if I was to change some aspect of it. So I need to ask you all to unmute yourself or unmute yourself. I can mute you all, but I can't unmute you, which is the mad thing about it. Okay. So, anybody like to share just for a moment, just for a minute? Now you've had some insight. Does it feel different or the same?
I think it helps to know that other people are experiencing issues, if you like, or their doubts or anxiety, because you often think that it's just kind of you and that everybody else is doing fabulous in the Facebook fakery world and all the rest of it. So it's really helpful to see that everyday people are having their own self-doubts too.
Oh, absolutely, Sue Jane, absolutely. I think because we can, in our own little bubble, we go and you see all the Insta perfect, Facebook perfect lives, and it all looks marvelous. And of course, we're only ever going to put, I'm guilty of this too, you know, guilty as charged. I will only put up my best photos. Do you know what I mean? And for every one that I might post is, you know, I'm sure there's probably in a 4 that I went, oh my word, that is not very flattering, Jill. You know, take another one, because that's what we do now with tech, you know, with smartphones and all the rest of it. And our life out there, what we see on social media especially, is curated. Even when we have conversations with people, we're always censoring what we offer, you know, because we won't necessarily want people to feel our pain or to think that we're any less of a person than the persona that we put out there, you know. And God forbid if anybody was to realize actually how I felt inside and what I was thinking, because I remember that. I was like, if anybody was to know what's going on in my head, they would lock me up. That's what I used to think. I was like, they would just have me down as a nut job completely, and I'd be in a straitjacket in a quiet room, slowly rocking. I'm not saying I don't sit there slowly rocking now. In fact, that's been my thing since a kid. I like to rock. Apparently it's a sensory thing. Is there anybody else who'd like to share before we move on?
I think I would like to get better at understanding when I feel excited and when I feel anxious, and that actually I haven't made that distinction yet.
Yes,
I haven't understood. So I think, yeah.
I absolutely love that, Anna. And actually, this is something I probably would have said later on, but I'll say it now. This is the thing, physiologically, we've got the same things happening in our body. It's the label that we've attached to it. So if you take, I don't know, let's take something classic like public speaking. Yeah. Hands up here if you actually enjoy public speaking. Yeah, okay. There's only two of us mad fools. Now, I absolutely love it, but I still get that, and I've come to learn over the years, I've trained myself into going, oh, when I get those feelings, when I get that fluttery tummy, and it feels like the hair stand up on the back of my neck, and I get all a bit jittery and a bit, that's excitement. Whereas I know years ago, especially when I was a kid, I thought it was the worst thing ever. Do you know what I mean? It was like I just wanted to crawl into my tiny little hole and never come out again. I don't know how I got to be this version of me, actually, sometimes. And I just think because, yeah, I just suddenly one day, I think before therapy, before my journey, before all of that, someone just put hand and I thought, oh, that feels really good. And so this is the thing, and if we know there are certain situations where I know actually when I get there and I do it, I enjoy it, but it's the anticipation of it sometimes that we build up to it, or maybe sometimes you're just thrown in. It's that moment of stopping and asking yourself, is this something to be really scared of? Am I actually in danger? Because that's the question that your body is asking you. When you feel and I'm going to come on to that in just a few minutes about what's going on and why we get triggered by things, but our body is trying to tell us what. So for one person, it's going to be, I don't know, sweaty palms, racing heart, like I was saying, I get sort of like hackles on the back of my neck go up and I get all jittery, and I could be going, oh no, I don't want to do that, but I've learned to go, oh, actually that means my body is preparing me for something exciting rather than something scary. So we do have a choice, and there was a little bit of training ourselves to stop and notice that. Okay, does that make any sense, Anna? Yeah, I told you I get a bit giddy, so I'm trying to bring myself back in. Okay, I promised you at the beginning, when I was promoting all of this, and there were some things that I said I was going to tell you what anxiety and stress is and what it's not. And I'd like to start with what it isn't, okay? Because sometimes we just need to hear this, okay? So it's not just you overreacting again, you know, because I'm sure you probably heard that from people, or maybe even from yourself. Oh, you're just overreacting again. Oh, you're always like this. It's not that, okay? It's not just all in your mind. It's not something you're making up, okay? It's something, you know, it's the stuff happening in your body to telling you a message. It's not your fault. It really isn't your fault. You're not to blame for being in the situation that you are, for experiencing what you're experiencing. And for that matter, it's not anybody else's fault either. It's not who you are. It does not define you. You are not this anxiety. You are not this stress. You are not this illness or health diagnosis that you've been given. This is really important because we lose sight of who we are when we've got stuff going on. I want you to know that you're not stuck forever, and you're absolutely not broken. No need to fix you. Not like you knocked the vase off and we've got to put you back into pieces. Put you back into one. Yeah, you're absolutely beautiful and perfect as you are, in whatever form or shape that takes now. And I want you to know that it isn't just about living with it. You know, it's about making the choice, like you did today, to come here, to invest 2 hours of your time because you wanted to find some solutions. This is the first step. I'm not kidding. And you know, you've probably seen all my stuff, or maybe, I don't know, the algorithms and all that, but all the stuff I put out there, it's not just marketing hype. When I say I'm getting excited about you know, you all coming together, I'm genuinely getting really excited because I remember how crappy I used to feel, how awful my existence felt in behind that facade of happy, sociable party girl, you know, and I felt so awful, so miserable behind the makeup and the matching shoes and bag and you know, and all the rest of it. Don't get me wrong, I still like a nice pair of shoes and a good bag. It doesn't, but it's like I felt like it used to be like if I had to have all of that to make me look like I was coping in the world, you know, I had to have all the things, all the whistles and bells. But yeah, you don't have to live with this, and it really does not have to define you. This is your moment to start making those changes. And you're not alone in how you feel. We've proved that already. And you're not alone on this journey either. You know, there's support out there for you. It's about making that decision. And I remember mine, it was the scariest thing I ever did. I told my best friend that actually how I was feeling, and she was shocked. She said, I didn't have any idea. And she said, but I've heard that this person is a really good therapist. I know a couple of people who've gone. And then that gave me the confidence to mention something tiny to someone else, and they recommended the exact same person. So of course I went to that person, and they normally have a waiting list. I'm just really lucky that I got in almost straight away. But that scary moment in reaching out and asking for the support, and reaching out and saying, I can't do this on my own, I've been trying and I feel like I'm failing miserably. As soon as I had that support, gosh, the difference that it makes. So I want you to hold faith that things are going to change. Okay. Now, what I'm going to tell you is now what anxiety and stress is. And I'm not going to go into lots and lots of science because I could spend 2 hours and more talking to you, but ball the pants off you, okay? But this did amuse me. This is why I'm laughing already, because I do laugh at my own rubbish jokes. Hey, Judy, is anxiety and stress. At its core, it's a 4-letter word. It's fear. If I say 4-letter words, you thought I was going to be a bit rude then, didn't you? Well, I wouldn't do that. So John's got a little smirk because I saw him going, really? Is she going to swear? I'm going to try not to swear. No, it's fear. I mean, you might have seen this uses an acronym actually as well. I've seen this from time to time, and it came to me the other day when I was preparing my notes. And fear can stand for false evidence appearing real, you know, and this is what's happening in our body, and all will be revealed. The thing about fear is it's fueled by our limiting beliefs. Okay, you go, well, how do I know what these limiting beliefs are? Where do they come from? And what the heck am I going to do about them if this is the solution to understanding what it is and how to overcome it? So let's just take, and okay, so I need to come back round. I've lost my train of thought. Okay, so if you think about it as fear, what's your body doing? So you're anxious or you're stressed, okay? Your nervous system has kicked in and it's doing what it was trained to do. It's doing what it's hardwired to do. This is going back to caveman days, where we needed to, we had a big, a big club, and there was a saber-toothed tiger, or there was marauding villagers from the next settlement, and you had to protect your family, you had to protect your food, you had to protect your livestock if you had any livestock, because it meant life or death. And so when you saw a sign of danger, whether it was real or perceived, your body kicks into, right, okay, I'm going to fight this. So our body goes into fight or flight. And when we're in that state of fight or flight, that's when the body starts preparing you for action, okay? So Anna, you were saying about how do I know whether it's something good or it's not, or something not good? Is it exciting or is it scary? This is that point, because we're hardwired to go, okay, I'm in protection zone, I'm in survival mode, and so the body does what it does. The adrenaline and kicks in, the cortisol, which is a stress hormone, starts to be produced. The more blood goes to the heart and the lungs, and you get more oxygen in. It goes to the legs. It goes away from the stomach, because you don't need to digest anything. So it goes to the major things. So I'm going to have to run away really, really fast, or I'm going to have to fight someone. So I need to be strong, and I need to be active, and I need to be really alert. Okay. So the body's doing that. That's when you start experiencing all that you experience. So like I was saying about, for me, when it used to be about public speaking, or even just speaking to anyone, it didn't even have to be a big group. It used to be the hackles on the back of my neck. I'd go, oh God, I just want to die. I just want to make myself really, really small. And I'd feel that feeling in my stomach that my mum used to, I remember my mum telling me when I was really, really tiny, oh, that's butterflies. Or you got that butterflies feeling in your tummy. Oh, that's okay. I wasn't convinced, just like I wasn't convinced when she told me that sprouts were baby cabbages. Never got that one. I think it took me till I was 25 to actually eat a sprout and enjoy it, thanks to my dad. So so we've got all that going on, so we're primed. If we think about in our real day, everyday life now, we don't have anything we've got to actually go and fight for. It might feel like you, especially these days with this wonky world, a lot of people do feel like they're ready for a fight, okay? Like they want to fight everything, to fight the institutions and all the rest of it. But there isn't physically, there's no one coming up to us generally, and for most of us, and threatening our life. But it might feel like that, okay, because of the things that are happening. I've totally lost my drift, okay. You wouldn't believe how many times I've given this talk, and yet I'm like, because I haven't done it for ages. Okay. So we're going about let's think about our real life now. So we're going about our daily life, and we've got stressors, and our stress level goes up and it comes back down again. Yeah, because that thing, that deadline, the exam, I don't know, the getting the kids to school, that really busy period at work, you know, whatever that thing is, it happens. If the stress hormones kick off, we feel all of that, we experience what we're experiencing, but then it's over and it's sorted. But what happens for us these days in life is that it's constant. We're in a state of chronic stress, and stress and anxiety. There's not really much well, I wouldn't say there's any difference in what's going on physiologically, biologically. The same things are happening. Yeah. So we're going along and we've got those stresses go up and comes back down again. But what happens is, if it's constantly doing that and we've got no way of helping ourselves, we feel a bit helpless about it, about what's happening, we feel at the mercy of it. What happens then is that when the stress level comes down, if we're in that constant, there's no getting out of it, we feel like we're stuck in it. It's like our base stress level rises just a bit. So whereas at one point we went up and it came back down again and we were here, it's coming up and this point is to here, it goes up and then the point is to here. So it's like our baseline is higher than it was at the very beginning before we were stressed. And what influences these things? You've got those big life stuff that happens. You know, it's like the everyday life things, like starting a new job and moving house or getting divorced. But then we've got things like, you know, like things like divorce and the really painful relationship breakups. They're traumas, you know. So, and we've got the obvious ones. You know, people do live in traumatic situations, and people have experienced trauma early in their lives. And it's these, we can call them big T traumas or small T traumas. So if you think of the big T traumas, they're the ones that are the obvious. So you hear that somebody was abused, or you were in a life-threatening condition, and you're living with that, or you've just got the prognosis of it. Maybe you've been in an accident. Maybe you live in a country where you're not, or in an area where you're not safe, where you actually fear for your life all the time. Maybe you're about to be made homeless. You know, that's a trauma. You know, if you don't know where your next meal is going to come from, or maybe you've just been made redundant. These are kind of the bigger T traumas. And then you've got those smaller T traumas, like I was saying, you know, those everyday life things that happen. And so each one of them directly impacting us. So it's all, you might think about it like someone's thrown a dart, and each time they're getting closer and closer to the bullseye. Yeah, each time one of these things. And so it's like, rather than there just being an isolated one, it's like they're all crowding in. Yeah. And so what happens then is you are primed, your body physiologically is primed, it's on the lookout constantly in a state of hypervigilance, because you're watching out, you're ready, because you've got those stress hormones circulating in your body constantly. So you're going to say to me now, well, how the heck am I going to do something about this, Jill? You know, because I can't leave my job because I've got my mortgage to pay. I really want to, I don't know, let's say, be a doctor. So I've got to finish my medical degree, or I've got to, I don't know how old you are, Judy. Are you maybe?
I'm 20. I'm in
You're
university.
20. Are you at university?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Fantastic. Are you Salwa's daughter?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since you were a baby. Oh, it's so nice to have you here.
Thank you.
Oh,
I've heard a lot about you.
oh, thank you, darling. Oh, that's given me a little moment there. Oh. Oh, that's really lovely. She was diddy last time I saw her. And I bring myself back round. I did tell you, warned you, didn't I, that I'm a bit rubbish at keeping myself on track some days, especially when I'm a bit excited. So yeah, so we're primed, we're hyper vigilant. So it's about being able to, one, use techniques that are going to break that code, okay, that are going to start cutting those cords between your response and that thing, yeah, to help the nervous system to recode things as well. Because what happens is something happens, and whether we're conscious of it or not, so if something stressful happens or traumatic happens, the body does its thing. It sends a message through the nervous system, through the vagus nerve, up to the brain, and it goes to the amygdala, and it says, and the amygdala is like your danger center, or you could call it the safety center, because they're two sides of the same coin. And it goes there, and it says, okay, when I feel this, think this, believe this, hear this, smell this even, okay, I am not safe. And then what it does there is it sends a little message to the hippocampus, and the hippocampus is the memory center, and it says, please put this, code this as unsafe, that your life is in danger should any of these things happen. This is what I'm saying, like sometimes, you know, for most of us here, we don't have those big, obvious threats to our life, like someone, I don't know, yeah, like the marauding villager from the next tribe with a stick, or a saber-toothed tiger, like back in the day. But our body still goes into that response. So the techniques I'm going to share with you today are going to help you to, in fact, I've just decided I'm going to give you a third one as well, okay? And we're going to do this one right now. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Simon, isn't it? So what Jill's explaining now was key in helping me to understand what was going on for me. Oh, thanks for saying that, Simon. Thank you. Yeah, so to cut that chain of command type of thing, to recode that, we've got to help the nervous system to come out of that chronic state, that constant state of hypervigilance. Okay, would you like to learn the first thing, in fact the most simple thing I could ever teach you? Yeah, all right, I'm going to ask you to sit. Now some of you here I know this already, because I've done it with you. All right, so I want you to put your hands together like this, sitting up where you are. Yeah, put your hands behind your head. Now, I've got a dodgy arm, so this, yeah, so I'm going to put mine here because that's comfy for me. So, all right. And I want you to keep your eyes forward to begin with. Keep your head still and take your eyes in the direction of your right elbow, and just hold them in the direction without moving your chin, just moving your eyes. They might not go very far over, but you'll just see it in your peripheral vision, and hold your eyes there until you get some kind of a release. It's going to be a sigh, or a big breath, or a yawn. Maybe you feel like your shoulders are coming down. And just hold it there again until you get another one. Now bring your eyes back to the center. That's it. And take your eyes over to the other elbow. Okay. And then when you've got at least one, not two, just bring your eyes back to the center and then just bring your arms down gently. You might need to just move yourself about a bit. Sort your hair out. What do you notice now? Anybody like to share? What feels different? Do you notice anything? Simon, thank you.
I had to turn my camera off because I was yawning like the clappers. I think I did about 4 or 5 there.
Fantastic. So I know that you've done this before, and you said you've come today because you wanted a little nudge, a little reminder. Is there anybody who hasn't done it before that feels like they would like to comment? Claire?
I didn't feel like I felt anything.
Sorry?
I didn't feel like I felt anything.
Okay. Was there a yawn or a deeper breath?
No, I think my head is like racing that much all the time. I feel as if it's hard to relax.
Okay. The great thing about this is there's no need to relax. Okay. There's not, none of it, what I'm going to teach you is meditation or relaxation. Okay. So there's no, I just want you to put that out there now, is that if you've got a busy mind, it's totally okay. Yeah. If you've got racing thoughts and you've been, and when you've been in a state of constant anxiety or stress for a long while, it's hard to get out of that. Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you, I'll send you a link so you can, in all the blurb that I send afterwards, so you'll be able to do this. Now, there's a medic that I work with and that I support one-to-one, and they were saying to me, when I'm at work and I just don't have time to take myself away and even get 5 minutes to myself sometimes. Sometimes I don't even know if I'm going to get to the toilet, because it's just so full on all the time. And I said, well, are there any times where you're sitting down? And they said, yeah, I have reports to write. And they don't work full time, so it's always sort of, they've got extra time pressure. I've got to do all of this before I finish my week. And so I said, would you be able to, while you're sitting there doing whatever you're doing, just to put your hands behind your head? And they said, yeah. So because I won't have to get up and do anything, and I don't have to remember anything complicated. So they started doing this and just waiting for, and this is the thing at first, Claire, and this goes for everybody, it can take you a little while until you get that first response, because this is resetting your vagus nerve, that technique. I've nicknamed it eyes to elbows. You will forget that now, the eyes to elbows. Judy likes that, because that's what you're doing, essentially. You're taking your eyes over to your elbow. So you didn't experience anything today. I'm just going to invite you to explore this. It's the sort of thing you can do while you're, you're waiting for the kettle to boil, you're sitting watching TV, you're lying in bed of a morning or of a night, you're at work. Do you know what I mean? You go to work and you go to the loo. You could do that. It takes seconds to do it, do you know? Or you're at college or whatever it is. Is there anybody else who wants to say anything about that? Okay, all right. Now what I'm going to do with you now is I'd like to do the first of the 2 techniques that I promised that I was going to share with you. And the first one is called heart breathing. And the reason that I like to teach people how to do this is because it works, it changes our physiology, our biology, our physiological responses by bringing our heart into a state of heart coherence. So if you was tuned up, wired up to an ECG, you sort of got a spiky really, really spiky. Claire's a nurse, aren't you? So you know all about this, I'm sure. I did nurse training. So you've got a really spiky profile. When you can train your heart into coherence, which is more of a, like a, if you were to follow all the points, it's a more of a smooth wave. Now there's loads of science behind this. It's been developed by an American organization, a not-for-profit called the Heart Math Institute. And I will be sending you links and info on how to do all of these things. You don't have to worry about, oh, I'll never remember that, okay, or I've got to make notes about these things. Now, if you've got that racing mind, just accept that those thoughts are going to still be there, because this is the first time that you've ever tried this, okay? The thing that I've learned over the years is we have to engage the body, because it's the body that holds everything. It holds the answer to every question we would like an answer to about ourselves and about how to respond in our world. But it also holds all the stress, holds the anxiety, holds the trauma of it all, because that's what it is. You know, when I said anxiety and stress is a 4-letter word, that it's fear. Fear is trauma of one description or another, whether that's the teeny things that happen so many times, it's the stress of exams, it's everyday life, or it's those really obvious things that we think of as trauma. And so it's about allowing the body, or rather harnessing the wisdom of the body to be able to come back in, give us space to come out of the head and into the body. And this is one of the first things I do with every client, is help them to come out of the head and drop into the body. Remember at the very beginning, and I said to you all, just imagine as if you're just dropping in. It wasn't, and I could see by each of your faces and literally your physiology of how you were holding yourself, actually each of you was going into that space. And so this is what I'm saying, it's about, like anything, it's about repetition, isn't it? We've got to keep on having a go. I will never expect you to be perfect or to do anything right first time. If it takes you 5 times, 10 times, 20 times or more to get to a point where you're feeling comfortable and good at it, then that's okay. So Sue Jane is saying, I find it helps to do it's gone now. Heart breathing before I do the eye to elbow. Especially when my mind's on ultra busy bit. Oh, fantastic. Thanks for that, Sue. I'm glad. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, thank you for adding that in. So Sue Jane is saying that she does the heart breathing and then she does the eyes to elbows. It's like she's already primed the body. And as I said, I wasn't planning on showing you that one today. I was only going to give you the 2. So should we have a little few minutes just experiencing the heart breathing? Yeah, you up for that? Okay, right, my lovelies. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to invite you just to put a hand or both hands on your heart space, wherever you feel that is for you. For me, it always feels like it's here, and it doesn't necessarily mean your anatomical heart. It could just, yeah, wherever that feels, that is for you. And I'd just like you to take just some slow, steady breaths in and slow, steady breaths out, and inviting you just to close your eyes in this safe space. Just taking slow, steady breaths in and slow, steady breaths out. Maybe even counting them in and counting them out if your mind is really busy. So maybe in for 4 and out for 4. Counting those breaths in, counting those breaths out. That's that. Now imagining the breath is coming in and out through your heart. So you're breathing in through your heart and out through your heart. That. Breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. Breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. That. And with every breath and every heartbeat, coming down into the body, going down into every cell, dropping down even deeper, deeper and deeper into the heart, into the body, going all the way down. And with every breath, going a little deeper again, deeper down, all the way down. Breathing in through the heart and out through the heart. Breathing in and out through your heart space. Counting the breaths if you need to. And I invite you now to bring to mind a positive emotion that you'd like to feel more of in your day. Maybe that's happy. Maybe that's peaceful. Maybe that's content. Whatever that is for you. And I'd like you to imagine it out there on a big movie screen, far in front of your eyes. All the way out there. And see it, notice it on that screen. And notice how it's written. If it's black and white or colour. Is it big or is it small? And make it bigger, brighter, bolder again. And as you notice that there on that movie screen, I'd like you now to bring to mind a time, a place, a memory, a person, a pet, a film even, real or imagined, that evokes that same emotional response for you. I want you to put that out there on that movie screen too. Just allow those things to merge and meld. I'd like you to use all of your senses now. And out there on that movie screen, what is it that you see? What do you hear? What can you smell? What do you taste? What can you touch with your fingers or your toes? What does it feel like? And I want you to now to make it bigger and brighter and bolder. And bring it in now, all that you see, all that you notice, all that you sense on that screen. I want you to bring it all the way into your heart, into every cell in your heart. And breathe it in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathing it in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathing that in through your heart and out through your heart. Breathing that in and out through your heart. And as you do, it goes deeper and deeper into every cell, and into every strand of DNA. It goes out down your timeline, into all versions of you, past, present, and future. It reaches all parts of you that need this, as you do. And knowing that you can come back to this at any time of your day or night, in any part of your life, just by putting your hands on your heart space and breathing in and out through your heart. And calling up all that's on that screen. And bringing all of that now into your conscious body that sat in that room, on that chair, on that sofa, that bed. Just bringing it into you now. And just starting to move your fingers and your toes. Moving your fingers and toes as you come into your body. And just take a nice big breath. That's it, yeah. Move your shoulders about like John. That's a good idea. Just have a little shimmy. Look at you all sleepy heads now. Who's feeling a bit more chilled out? Hands up if you feel a bit more chilled out now. Yes. Hands up if you would like to do that every day. and feel like that more and more often. And I can guarantee you, the more you do it, the calmer you feel, the less stressed you feel. Your nervous system starts to go, oh, I'm safe. You know, when you've been tearing away, you've been really, really busy, and you go, and it's really, and it might be something really good, but like you're so excited and you're busy and you're doing things, and then you sit down and you go, oh gosh, that feels lovely. Oh, or like me the other night, and I got into bed, into clean sheets, and my whole body just went, oh yes, it's time to go to sleep. That's what your whole nervous system is doing when you do the heart breathing. It's going, yeah, I can relax now. I'm okay. I'm safe. Yeah. So I invite you to just find a minute or two each day, because that's all it takes. And in fact, when the research shows that if we do, I think it's 3 minutes of heart breathing each day, I think it boosts our immune response by, oh gosh, it's a few hours. It's a good few hours. So imagine if you did that twice a day. Yeah, you did it before you go to work or school or college, and then you did it at lunchtime. You know, I used to go to the loo and do all this stuff. No one questions you if you say you're going to the loo. You go to the loo, you lock yourself in. No one's going to ask anything unless they're incredibly nosy or a little bit rude, or maybe they're your best pal or your brother or someone. They go, what are you doing? Get out. Okay. So, are you ready for the last bit of loveliness? Yeah. Ooh, Sue's going, oh yes, I like this bit. Sue knows what's coming. Last year when we had the first lockdown, I had people reaching out to me saying, oh, Gill, are you going to offer anything online? And so I started doing the Circle of Love. And in fact, Sue came to it, Anna came to it, who's here, else was here, came to it. Simon, I don't know whether Simon came to it, I can't remember. Yeah, and it was so nice because we got that sense of community like we've got today, you know, so that little bit of sharing and common ground, like, oh my word, I'm not on my own with all of this. And just going away a little while later going, oh gosh, I feel so much better now, you know. And I've got tools I can use. And this was one of them. So this is called emotional freedom techniques. Okay, it's called EFT or tapping as well. So I kind of use EFT and tapping interchangeably. That's all the same thing. And you don't have to make lots of notes because I'm going to send you all that you need to know. Yeah, you're very good students. I'm really impressed actually, because you're all being like, notepad, done everything that I asked you to do. It's all there. Yes, I'm going to send you all the blurb, yeah, over the next day or two. So you don't have to worry about how on earth do I remember this. So what I'd like you to do is I'd like you just to think of one tiny thing, and I mean really tiny thing, it might even be probably much tinier than anything we talked about earlier on. Maybe something from today, maybe a little niggle, something that you just went, like, I don't know, maybe you went to the shops this morning and you were just about to get that perfect parking space and someone nabbed it. And you're like, oh God, that's so annoying. Or maybe I don't know, your brother wouldn't get out of the bathroom in time or something. I don't know, there's something, isn't there? Or maybe if you've got children, maybe they're just like, oh yeah, just like a little niggle and irk, yeah? Just something small. Maybe it was today, maybe it was this week. If it was today, it's even better. I just want you to imagine yourself there. Just notice what was happening and just notice how you feel about it now. I know it's a little while later, so it's going to feel a bit different, might not feel as strong, but whatever it is, I'd just like you to give it a number out of 10. And so 10 is the most intense it could be, and 0 would be there's nothing there. I feel absolutely fantastic about it. Okay, so you put your hand up if you've got a number. Fantastic. Okay. Now that thing, I want it to be really, really, really tiny. So to help you do that, I want you to notice what emotion is attached to that. Now maybe there's more than one. And if there's more than one, I want you to notice the biggest one, or one that feels like the biggest or the heaviest. So what is this? What is the emotion? So maybe I'm annoyed, maybe I'm angry, maybe I'm sad, maybe I'm disappointed. And if you're saying to yourself, I'm anxious or I'm stressed, I'm going to tell you that they're not emotions, they're emotional states. I'm going to ask you, actually, how do I really feel about it? What's underneath that? Because the anxious and stress, anxiety and stress is fear. So what am I worried about? What am I scared of? What am I afraid of? What do I fear? If you said anxious or stressed. So put your hand up if you've got an emotion. And I want you to give the number an emotion as well out of 10. Yeah? Okay. Now I want you now just to notice where you're holding that in the body. And you did this at the beginning. I know you're really, really good at this already. Just imagine, it might be that you feel a tension somewhere. Maybe you feel a heaviness or a gurgliness, or just if you were to know where it is, where would that be? And I know that intuitively, you're already connecting with that. Just noticing where you imagine that is in the body. When you imagine where it is in the body, just noticing, is it inside or outside? And is it big or is it small? And maybe is it hard or is it soft? You might get some of these, you might get all of these, you might get none of these. It's your first time, a lot of you, and that's okay. There's no right, there's no wrong. This is your experience. Okay, so you know what number it is, you know what emotion it is. So just say, now we want to formulate like a little statement, okay? That's going to go something like, and I'm going to make one up for me. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to use Judy. Maybe this did happen today, I don't know, but I'm going to use, because I know you've got younger siblings. I'm sure probably very annoying teenagers now, aren't they? Yeah. It's the law of the world, isn't it? Our siblings have to be annoying, even if we love them immensely. So it's going to go something like, even though I feel really annoyed because my brother spent so long in the bathroom that I was late going out. And Judy's going, how did you know? I'm kidding. So that's what it's going to go, something like, so even though I feel, so whatever you're feeling, because you're going to name him why you're feeling that feeling. Yeah. So just keep your hand up once you've got like a little statement in your head. Even though I feel this because this thing. And if you need any help, let me know. Hey, well done. It takes a bit of time sometimes to make sure that you've got, why am I feeling this? Yeah. This is where the clarity and insight comes in. Becky, have you got yours, my lovely? So have you got an emotion? Okay, do you want to take yourself off? I'll rather put your microphone on and I'll help you with this. So what's the emotion?
Irritation.
Irritation. What is it you're irritated about or with?
That the guy in the shop was messing about with my letters this morning.
There you go, you've got it.
Giving me the stamps to put on. No, I have to do them for you.
So that could be, even though I feel really irritated, really irritated, because the guy in the shop wouldn't let me do it. He didn't think I could do it myself. And
yeah, it was just really weird.
yeah, so there you go, you've got it sorted. It's as simple as that. Okay, so we're going to say, even though I feel like this, because of this, I know I'll be okay. Yeah, now we're all going to start to tap together now, and it doesn't matter which hand you use. Okay, so it can be, I'm right-handed, I tend to tap right hand onto it, and it's off to the side opposite to your thumb. It's the karate chop. Remember Hong Kong Fooey? Hiya! Hong Kong Fooey. You're way too young, Judy, but I'm sure it's on YouTube. Have that delight to look forward to. Okay, so you're all got muted, so I want you to say this out loud. Okay, you're going to say your own little statement. Okay, even though I feel like, because I know I'll be okay. Even though I feel like, because I know I'll be okay. So even though I feel really irritated because the man in the shop wouldn't just give me the stamps to do it myself, I know I'll be okay. Even though I'm really irritated because my brother spends too long in the bathroom. He always gets in my way. I know I'll be okay. Okay. So now we're going to go to the top of the head. It doesn't matter which hand you use. I tend to use my dominant hand because most of us do. And you're just going to repeat out loud so let's take Becky's. I'm really irritated, and you just do your own version. Yeah, I'm really irritated. Onto the eyebrow. I'm so irritated with that man. Side of the eye. I feel so immensely irritated. Now we go to the side of the eye, just here. So just at the side of the eye where the glasses are. That's it. Lots of us with glasses on. Under the eye now, just gently. So it's just here. Really gentle. Can't believe how irritated I am. You're saying whatever you say for you. Now we go under the nose. You can do it that way or you can do it that way. That way is just nice and handy. We're now under the nose now. Under the nose. That's it. I'm so irritated. Now you might notice yourself breathing a bit heavier, or going onto the chin now, into this little dip of the chin. Maybe you might notice burping or yawning or gurgling. I might notice nothing. I'm really irritated. Under the collarbone. So if you put your hand like this, just go straight under the collarbone. I'm really irritated. That's it, under the arm. So this is kind of where the bra strap is for girls, in line with the nipple for boys. I'm really irritated, or whatever your thing is. Then we go to the inside of the wrist, so it's here where the watch strap would be. Keep repeating, whatever it is, I'm really irritated. Okay, now we go onto the thumb, and it's the side of the thumbnail here where the nail meets the skin, and we just tap gently there. I'm so irritated. Next one down. Can't believe how irritated I am. He's always getting in the way. Next one down. She pinched my parking space. Next one down. Letting go of all this irritation. Next one down. Letting go of all this irritation. Okay, just give your hands a shake to the sides. Take a nice big breath. And I want you to drop into the body again and just have a look what it's like now. If you noticed anything, what number is it now? What's the emotion like? Is it still the same? Is it still in the same place? It's still about the same thing. What do you notice? Is it exactly the same, or is there even the tiniest little change? Sometimes it moves around, moves into a different part of the body. Sometimes the emotion shifts. Maybe sometimes it even gets bigger because we tune into it. Okay. So have you all now got a number of how you are now? Number? New number? Yeah. And okay. Has it changed? Yes or no? Yeah. Okay, so it's changed a little bit. Fantastic. We're going to do one more round. Now, if you need to change whatever the statement is, the setup statement, to reflect how it is now, then just change your wording, okay? And I'm going to keep on using Becky's example. So we're going to tap on the side of the hand again, even though I'm still irritated with that man, irritated about the whole situation. I'm feeling a bit better about it now. And even though it was immensely irritating, I don't want to hold on to this irritation, I don't think. And I'd really like to let it go. And even though, thank you, Glenda. I really don't want to feel irritated. I feel like it was part of me holding on to it. But maybe I could let it go. And even though I feel less irritated because I've done some tapping, and even though it's a bit weird and it's all new to me and there's so much to remember, I'm really glad I've tried this. And now I feel a bit less irritated. And I know I'll be okay. That's it, top of the head. It feels good to be less irritated. I still am irritated. And that's okay. Oh, Becky's yawning, that's a good sign. Side to the eye. I'm irritated. And that's okay. Under the eye. Letting go of this irritation. That's under the nose. Letting go of that irritation. On the chin. Letting go. All that irritation. That's it. Under the collarbone. Letting go of all of this. I don't need it anymore. That's it. Under the arm, letting go. I really don't need this. The inside of the wrist. I'm really glad to start letting this go. That's it. Onto the thumb. Letting go. And I'm going to bring in a secret tip now. When you get to the hands, start talking about fear, letting go of all this fear. Letting go of all the fear of the fear. Of letting go of all this fear. Next one down, letting go of all the fear of the fear. Of letting go of all the fear. That's it. Next one down, letting go of all the fear. Of letting go. That's it. Next one down, letting go of all the fear. Of feeling different about this thing. I'm burping now. Oh my word. Yeah. Big energy shifting. Oh, letting go of all the fear. Oh, of letting this go. Fantastic. Okay, give your hands a little shake. Take a nice big breath. Yes. Now, I would love you all to just check in again and notice what it's like now. Leanne's yawning like crazy. That's a really good sign. Really good sign. So what number is it now? Is it still the same emotion? Is it still in the same place? Is it still the same? Like, do you notice it, sense it the same? And when you've got that, I'd like you to take yourself off speaker, unmute yourself, that's the word I wanted. Okay. Fantastic. So Anna, I'm going to start with you while the others are tuning in. So all I want to ask you now is, what number were you to begin with and what number are you now?
I was 6 to start with and a 0 now.
Oh, result! Gosh, now don't feel any peer pressure that Anna got to a 0. She's been doing this quite some time. She uses the tapping a lot, yeah? So she's got a head start kind of thing, yeah? Fantastic, that's a really good result. Sue Jane, you're next down on my screen. I'm going to ask you.
There's a 5 down to a 1.
Oh, yes. Okay, I'm going to come to Katie.
An 8 down to a 5.
Oh, well done, Katie. Fantastic. Have you done tapping before?
No, I've never done it myself. I've read about it, but I've never actually tried it.
Oh, brilliant. So it's nice that you got a good experience with that. Yeah. Fantastic. I had a book on my bookshelf nearly 10 years before I actually did any tapping. I used to look at it and go, oh, it looks like it's written in Swahili or something. Oh no, it looks, my head was just where it was just too much. And then when my therapist said, oh, I'm training this thing called EFT, and I went, oh, I've got a book on that. Suddenly it all made sense. It just was waiting for the right time. Fantastic. Simon in the dark. Has he fallen asleep?
Lincoln is plunging into darkness here.
It is.
I was a 4 and I'm now a 1.
Fantastic. Judy, I'm coming up to you next.
Mine was a 4 and now it's a 1.
Oh, well done. That's brilliant. John. Oh, I can't hear you, my lovely.
Okay, I'm pressing.
Yeah, I can hear you now. Oh, press it once more. That's it. Now speak.
Okay, I was 5 and that's 1 now.
Way, well done. And they're going to come to Leanne because you're below me now.
I was about a 6 and a 7 and now I'm 1.
And Becky.
Was a 5 before and now 2.
Yay. And Claire.
I was a 7 and now I'm a 4.
Okay, Okay, this calls for happy dance. Yeah, come on, I want you all to do your own little version of a happy dance. Yeah. Woo! How about that for a result? How quick was that? Yeah, for that thing shifting, changing. Now that was 10 minutes. Not even that, actually. It was less than 10 minutes. I think it was about 8 minutes. So between the three things that I've shared with you today, they're all things that don't take lots and lots and lots and lots of time. And the thing is, the more that you use them, the more that you practice using them, you get more comfortable with them, you get more confident with them, and actually you get even better results the more confident and comfortable that you get. And also because your body, a big key part of it is, your body is, your nervous system is learning to go, oh, I'm safe. Oh, okay, this is really good. I'm not, life isn't as dangerous. This is much better. And when we're doing the tapping, it sends signals. So we're using kinetic energy and we're tapping on meridian points. And I'm glad to say there are some researchers somewhere who have now called them something different, but they're acknowledging meridians. They've called it some fancy thing. But anyway, we're sending messages through the body, through the nervous system, to the amygdala, that when I feel, think, believe, blah, 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 this is, when I feel here, think this, I am safe. It tells the hippocampus, can you please recode it? This thing is safe now. Yeah. So if you've got things that you're regularly, a stress trigger, or they're like a major point of anxiety for you, then the more you do it about this, the more you're reducing that. Okay, the more you're bringing your base stress level down to where it needs to be, so that when the proverbial does hit the fan, you're not going off and through the roof. Yeah, it comes up and it comes back down. So you're able to self-regulate. Yeah, you're helping your nervous system, you're helping your physical body, you're supporting your mental and emotional well-being, and you're also working with your energy. Yeah. And that's the woo bit. I'm not going to go into that today. I've given you way too much. As always, I was overly ambitious in how much I wanted to give to you. I think the amount of content I put in probably would have been like about 4 hours. But hopefully you've got a taster of what it's all about, and you've now got some tools that you can go away and use. Now, before I say farewell, excuse me, I just wanted to remind you that I'm going to send you in the next day or two, I'm going to send you a pack with obviously electronically, and it's going to have all the how to do the heart breathing, how to do the tapping, how to do the eyes to elbows. I'll put some links in there. Sue's saying it does take practice, and I know I'm doing it right when I yawn and burp like crazy. Yeah. And that's it. I'm also going to put some links into some books, and I see all these are all books on EFT. This one I wrote a chapter in. That's my only claim to fame, but they're great. They're all different. I'll put links down so you can have a look, and you can, it might be that you're drawn to buying one of those to help you, because I'm going to give you the basics. Okay, I also want to let you know that I'm here to support you. Okay, so if you wanted to work one-to-one with me to get really in deep with what's going on for you and to get bespoke support, then what I'd like you to do is to send me a message and just reach out to me and say, okay, can we have a chat about this? I don't offer any quick fixes, because if you've been living with something for a long time, it isn't a quick fix. And I wish I did have a quick fix for you, but I don't yet. I have some amazing tools that do work, and gosh, so much quicker than many others. I've got one client that I'm working with, and she'd had years of counselling, and there's nothing wrong with counselling, but it only gives you an intellectual understanding of where you are and some thinking tools, and maybe you might make some lifestyle changes, but it doesn't help you to address the trauma that's stuck in the body, and it doesn't help you to get the brain recoding things correctly and help the nervous system working on your side. So the way that I work is super speedy in comparison to traditional talking therapies. So if you're interested in one-to-one support, please do reach out to me and we can have a chat. I've got a special offer in that I've called it Calm for Christmas. So if you'd like a taster of what it's like to work with me one-to-one, I'm offering just one session where it would be bespoke. So there's an assessment questionnaire that you fill out beforehand. Then we come online onto a one-to-one Zoom call, and we address we have a look at what's going on for you, and then we do a little bit of work. And we use some techniques. So we do some heart breathing, we do some EFT, might do other little bits and pieces. So you've got something that's all recorded so that you can go and watch it afterwards. You can watch it again and again and again and keep on replay. I'll also put together like a little package of recommended tools for you to use to get you for your specific situation. These things are going to help you most. And so it might include things like gratitude journaling, or a bit of going out in nature and things like that. Everyone's different. Okay. So I've got the Calm for Christmas, and that is £88, okay, which is reduced from the £100 for an hour session that it normally is to work with me. And coming up in January, I've got a 6-week online group course called Calmer You in 22. So where we'll do bits and pieces of this and other loveliness, and it'll all be on Zoom, and it'll be in the evenings. And I'm going to put all of this info in the pack for you, along with all the other resources, so that you know exactly what's on offer, and you know how to get in touch with me if you would like to work with me one-to-one or in a group. Okay, we're 2 minutes over. Isn't bad for me, because I do like the sound of my own voice. And I just want to give you, I said we'd have time for Q&A, and I know we've gone over, but if you would like to ask me any questions, I've got time for you. So if you've got the time and you have questions, then now is your time to ask. If you need to shoot off, I understand that also. I've got to go, Anna. Oh no, that's Gill Pinnington, so that must be Simon, is it? Yes. Bye Simon, really nice to see you. Thank you so much, everybody. It's been fantastic. It really has been amazing to have you here, and I hope to see you again. Thanks so much for all this time that you've offered to yourself. Bye Becky. Bye Sue Jane. Bye. See you, Claire. Oh, thank you, John. Thank you so much, Judy. It's really helpful. Oh, you're so welcome. So very welcome, Judy.